Take off our clothes, break out the bongos. Wow, it's so weird that you had Matthew McConaughey on.
Yeah, we had Matthew McConaughey on last week.
Wow,
great.
He's good. Did he does all
kind. No, but I saw on YouTube he does Harrison Ford and the guy from House of Cards, which I've been binge watching. Kevin Spacey, yeah, and a few others. But anyway, he was very kind of proper and just thoughtful. But when he got into his Matthew McConaughey, he really loosened up.
Playing the bongos.
Okay, before we get into today's, Deadcast Top 5, I want to let you guys know that you successfully nominated us in the entertainment category in this year's Podcast Awards. Yay!
Where'd you get all those children? Are they hiding in the closet?
They're happy. Sneeko and his friends. So thank you so much. We're on there.
That's great. Thanks, people.
And this year it's accelerated. Last year we did nominations and then voting didn't start until like a month later or something. This year it starts today, the day you're hearing this, if you're listening on the first day it's available, which is Tuesday. And you have to vote every day for 15 days again, which is a pain in the butt. But, that's what you have to do to win. So I will send out reminders to you guys. But the biggest pain in the butt is just remembering to do it. So I'll send out reminders to you guys. But if you're listening to this and you want us to win again, then go to podcastawards.com and vote for us. And I hope that this year you'll vote this time.
I did. I think I voted once.
You might have voted once or twice. Try voting 3 times.
Well, if you send a baby
reminders.
Animal.
Okay.
If you send baby animal reminders, I will absolutely
threats
vote.
to baby animals?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
going to get a kitten, and if you guys don't vote for us, I'm going to kill it. No, I'm just kidding. See if that works. So, the thing about this year is that we are nominated in the entertainment category along with Talking Dead, Chris and Jason.
Oh.
The Canadians.
Yeah.
Our friends and our other friends, James and Eric from the Walker Stalkers, are also.
No.
So, we really like these guys, but we want to crush them under our heel.
like a used up cigarette.
Yeah. And some of you I know are probably listeners of theirs. I know I am.
Yeah.
But if you split the vote, then some non-Walking Dead podcast is going to win the entertainment category, like Rob Sesternino. So
who you also like.
If you want us to win, you have to vote for us every day. And then we can give these guys a chance to win next year. But we only won it once, so we should have another chance. Is that convincing? I don't know. Anyways, if you do want us to win, you have to vote for us every time.
Or the kitten gets it.
I love all those guys. Yeah, or the kitten's going to die.
We love those guys. Let's be absolutely clear.
We totally do.
We absolutely love them.
But we want to crush them under our heel. So anyways, I was thinking, I kind of debated whether I was going to do this, but what the hell. So last year, Karen and I just said we'd reveal how we met. Now, this time, if we win, I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to take a page from Rob Sesternino and shave my head.
No kidding,
so if we win, I will completely shave my head bald. I haven't checked this with my wife yet.
How about your eyebrows?
No, not my eyebrows.
Just your hair.
Come on. Leave us something for next year.
You're a cue ball. Whole dome.
I've always kind of wanted to
see what it's
but I'm afraid it won't grow because my hair, I've kind of been blessed with a full head of hair.
You have been.
And so I'm a little bit scared that it won't grow back right.
You know what? I say shoot through that fear and shave that sucker off.
Yeah, you would say that.
I like
and
that.
Karen's going to be joining me.
This year, it's interesting. You have to do something, but I don't have to do anything at all. This is really good.
I know. I see. Last year you were such a pain in the butt when it was about both of us. So I decided to just make it about
always a pain in the ass.
No, not always. I'm just kidding.
Well, if you think of anything that does not involve shaving a head,
no, I wanted to take the brunt of it this year. Happy to do it. So anyway, once again, podcastawards.com and vote Walking Dead Cast. Thank you very much, you guys.
Early and often.
Yep. That's actually true this time. It's legal. So let's move right along.
Attention shoppers. Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, it's Deadcast Top 5. This week it's our top 5 highlights for Season 5, Episode 12. Remember?
Yes, remember.
What'd you think?
I love this episode.
Yeah.
I really, really did. I thought it was fantastic. I gave it 4 out of 5. Oh, sorry, 4.8 out of 5. Brain.
Awesome. I thought so too. 4.6. But it was just really, really great episode. Zombie light, but very good. What do you think of this whole situation if this does turn out to be a relatively safe place?
Which we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. But what if it is? Then what do you think that could be for the show?
Oh, it'll never be like that. We know the show. The show would die.
That's true. Yeah, it would, right?
It's like a shark. It has to keep moving forward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one thing, I suspect that there'll be, some either a few episodes or maybe a long while in this new place, but it won't be safe. But the thing is, while they're in this place, at least for a while, I imagine that the zombie threat will be less.
Yes.
Like today, They had to manufacture some reason for them to go outside so they could have a zombie encounter.
Carl followed Enid and Rick went outside, sort of stroll the perimeter, apparently, and and then there were the other folks were on their little sojourn to sort of
do a dry
test
run
drive
for their scouting or whatever.
They had to sort of manufacture the zombies, but they didn't really have to do that for me. I was totally fine just spending time inside Alexandria.
I know I would bet anything that every episode they're going to find. There have been issues of the comic, several in a row, where there were no zombies, but I think every episode they're going to have to find some way to get a zombie encounter in there because the fans won't stand for it if there aren't. True.
Well, even though they didn't have a lot of zombies, one of the zombies that they did have with the skin pulling off, that was sort of a big deal.
Yeah.
So there's fewer zombies, but it's they're trying to get some spectacular effects.
I mean, I was cool with it. I would have been cool with this episode with no zombies because I thought it was a great episode. But it does make me a little worried because when I think about the period on the show of The Walking Dead that's my least favorite, it's when they were on the farm.
Yes, at Herschel's.
We were complaining that there weren't that many zombies, that there weren't enough.
Yeah,
remember that?
But that was more about the writing at that point.
Yes, it was. But I'm thinking, this is sort of a similar situation. They're in a relatively safe place. The writing has gotten better since then. And I deep down, I think they're so much better now that they'll be able to make us love the show. But that's just my little worry. Like, oh, they're in a safe place like when they were in the farm. And that's when I like the show the least. And also, when you're in a place where the zombies aren't as much of a threat, then the threat, because this is a conflict-based show, as are most shows and stories, then the conflict has to come from other people. Right,
which I think it's going to. Ain't it sneaking off for a reason?
What is it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Do you think she's bad news?
I don't know. And where did his gun go? His blunder gun?
Enid has it, I betcha. Blunder gun.
His blunder gun.
What's your number 5?
All right. My number 5 was I loved looking at Alexandria. Safe zone. Alexandria safe zone. A clean, well-lighted place for humans. I love that they describe it as a planned, sustainable community. At least that's what the brochure said.
Yeah.
And it explains a lot.
So people hadn't really moved in yet, huh?
They sold all of the places, according to Congresswoman
So they
Deanna.
Hadn't moved in.
Yeah, I mean, things looked furnished.
It was just starting, though. I mean, it looked
furnished.
New. Yeah, they did look
picture
furnished.
Frames
yeah. See, that's what I wasn't quite sure of.
Where did the people go?
Where it wasn't clear whether I got the feeling that it hadn't totally been populated yet.
Right. And also another thing was Congresswoman Deanna said that most of Northern Virginia had been evacuated. So that could also be why a lot of it looked very unpopulated.
But just the way they were describing it, I thought it sounded like it was just on the cusp of really
working.
Yeah, like they hadn't moved everybody in yet or something. I don't know. For sure.
I love the fact that they talked about answering my questions right away. Water cistern, solar, advanced sewage treatment.
I was thought about you when they said that.
Yeah, because I would have been asking about that and secretly wondering about that. I love these details. It makes me so happy.
They said the houses started in the low 800,000s. That's supposed to be a lot, right?
Yeah, that seems high.
Not to me.
Yeah, well, you live in San Francisco.
I'm like, that's a deal.
But this place looked pretty nice.
It was supposed to be a lot. And in, I imagine in Virginia, they're in Virginia, right?
Yeah, Alexandria.
That it's probably a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know if Alexandria is considered to be a suburb of DC, but I could also imagine a lot of the wealthy people attached to Washington, DC area probably live there. That's in my head what's going on. Anyway, loved the sort of the house hunters aspect of it too, which is hilarious. So there it is.
I know how they're like. Rick was talking about how I love this was one of my favorite scenes. Rick's like, Lori and I used to drive through places like this and think one day, and then Daryl's like, well, here we are. It's like not quite how we imagined
Excellent. By the way, that is filmed in Sonoy. I was amazed.
Oh, yeah. We were there. Jenny and I took a little trip out to Sonoy when we were in Atlanta for Walker Strucker Con.
Yeah.
And we saw that metal serrated wall.
Did you really?
All the trailers, so we knew they were filming out there.
No kidding.
Yeah, but we couldn't get very close to it. There were like guards making sure nobody got too close.
Right. Oh, that's great.
I should have dressed up like a zombie and just like
extra
shambled up to it.
Oh, extra sit air. Thanks, dude.
Exactly. Okay, my number 5 is shower and a shave.
Is that why you shaved?
Yeah, I shaved today in honor of Rick and our sponsor, Harry's, which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
But it was great to see Rick looking like he did earlier in the series, except older and more, not so much weathered, but he really does look like he's burdened.
Yes.
You know, even though he's clean shaven and he looks 10 years younger.
Oh, he does. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. I just love, they really this season have been very good about let's make them go to one extreme this way so it'll be a huge contrast.
Yes.
The look, the beard, the full beard, but also just how shitty they've had it lately.
Right.
And now they're in this little utopia.
Not too long ago, maybe just a couple, Walking Dead days ago, they were eating dog.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Good times.
When he looked at himself in the mirror, his little hand mirror after his shave, he had this look like he just kind of worried. And to me, it's like, fuck, I'm a human being. I forgot. Or is this really real? Am I really this now? Or can I go back to this?
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like that. But then there was also the shower where he gets naked. Was that attractive? To you?
Then we saw him without his shirt on when he went downstairs to answer the door.
He's all trying not to look like he's posing.
Yeah, baby.
But shower scenes on this show are so impactful because I kind of know how it is because if you go camping or when I go to Burning Man and you don't get a shower for many days in a row and you're dirty and tired and then you finally get home and you get to take one, it's like that times 1,000. It's just like, oh my God. Imagine. And a reminder of society and luxury and decadence.
The last time we saw him shower, correct me if I'm wrong, was season 1, episode 1 or 2, back at the police station with Morgan, right?
Well,
and Morgan's kid?
There have been 3 shower scenes. There was that one, which was, they were a little more joyful back then.
They were like, woohoo!
Then there was the one at the CDC. I don't remember if it showed Rick. I remember Shane was drinking his bottle of whatever in the shower like this.
Yeah, with his necklace, the 22.
Yeah. And then there's this one. But yeah, that was, I think, these are sort of touch points. When did they get access to a shower?
Right.
And then I noticed that he cut himself pretty bad shaving. He had a big red spot, which I thought he's out of practice, but also The Walking Dead won't pass up a chance to show some blood.
Right. Exactly. I like how he just wipes it on his chin on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, I liked when Rick said something about how he thought he'd never see electricity showers or haircuts. And Jesse was like, oh, come on, haircuts were never going to go away. I kind of was thinking that too, like,
I don't know. Maybe
scissors still work.
Scissors do still work. He had to scissor it off first, and then I love that. And it wasn't fake. He really did cut his beard.
Yeah. And they made a big deal out of that when he was at Walker Strucker Con. Like, ooh, you're going to see why do I shave my beard? Maybe I'm not on the show anymore.
Yeah, we believe that.
Okay, your turn.
My number 4 is the videotape confessionals.
Those are great.
I very much enjoyed this. By the way, this episode was directed by Greg Nicotero.
No,
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Wow, he's directing a ton of episodes.
He's directing a ton of episodes. And
I
it's
didn't know
interesting because it was a Zombie Light episode and he was the director.
That's right, yeah. That's
And
cool.
yeah, so I love the trope of the videotape confessionals. I liked how they sort of toggled back and forth between being in the room listening to the character and then stepping
Showing
back
the
and
tape.
listening to it on the tape. Yeah.
It kind of reminded me, you don't watch a lot of reality TV, and I don't anymore either, but I used to. And they always show these characters shoved together in some way that makes you sorry you're a human being at watching it. And they're like drama. And then they go off into these little, what they call confessionals.
Yeah,
and
right.
It was kind of like that.
What was the Big Brother zombie movie that we saw? TV show that we saw?
Yeah, it was Big Brother. I forget what it was called, but it was a takeoff on Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Yeah.
It was a
and
zombie
they
one.
did those.
It was British, and it was great. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was great, and I was wondering why videotape this, Congresswoman Deanna.
You think there's some ulterior thing that we don't know about?
At first,
yet?
I was, but I did think that. But I watched.
It could be.
I watched The Talking Dead last night,
Oh.
and Denise Huth. She's she's the executive producer. She said that she thought that it was because they are going for complete transparency. And
That's what
what she
Deanna said, but
right.
what
And
does that really mean?
she says that the videotapes are then available in sort of the little common library, and anybody
for
can see
everyone
them.
else to see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Carol kind
No
of
secrets.
stuck a wrench in that by totally bullshitting them.
I loved it so much. We'll talk about Carol
Okay.
more, but that was a great scene.
Well, I loved the interviews too. I thought it was a great device, and I had a little bit to say about each one of them.
Do it.
Daryl just seems so uncomfortable, won't even sit down. And he's like, the boy and the baby, they deserve a roof, I guess, when she asked him if he wanted to be there.
Yeah.
But it's clear that he feels more at home in the wild. And he's never, like, Rick is uncomfortable with the idea that maybe he could go back to civilization. But Daryl's never really been in civilization. So
Right.
he's just like not
It's not his
jiving
scene.
at all with this.
It is not his scene. He just wants to get a possum on the porch.
Yeah, I love that. He brings this big possum in.
Dinner.
I brought dinner.
Dinner. Now I'm going to clean it on the porch. What?
He's kind of a rebel. He knows that making people uncomfortable, I think. Maybe not. Michonne's interview, she just looks untrusting, but is saying this is what we've wanted. So she's sort of vacillating from being her old Woodbury untrusting self, at least how she looks. I mean, she's being smart. She
Yeah.
wants it to work, but she's not fully letting herself appreciate it yet, which is
To
true.
verify.
Yeah, exactly. I liked Carl's interview the best, even though it was kind of sad. She said, I'm sorry you lost your mother. He said, I didn't lose her. I killed her.
Killed her. Yeah, he's going for
It was
full
dramatic.
disclosure.
Yeah. And he said it had to be me. And it's like, it just showed that he's at peace with having to have done that.
Yeah.
He knew that it had to be done. And I think it was Maggie that was with them when she was giving birth.
Yep.
And he knew that he even feels okay that he did it and didn't.
He's got nothing to hide when
to-
it comes to that episode.
Yeah. Carol's. I mean, you wanted to talk about Carol's?
Yes.
You like that?
I loved it. I thought, that was actually my number one thing. And that at first, she kind of fooled me at first. At the beginning.
For a second, yeah, I was like,
why is she fumbling with her giant gun?
and saying that she loved Ed. Just before my brain had a chance to kick in,
Yes.
I was like,
What?
man, she really backslid. And like, wait, no.
And, because she survived abuse in the past, she was an abused wife. So she really has figured out how to hide what she's feeling
and how to
covering
do
things
what
up.
she said, to Daryl, which is we have to keep up appearances. That's
is-
exactly what she was doing.
She is clever like a fox. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. She says, I'm a people person.
Yeah.
If you have a junior league, I can do the junior league. And then she emerges in the cardigan.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
And he said, and Daryl's like, you look ridiculous.
Right. She said, I'm going to hose you down while you sleep.
See, I think Carol and Daryl are the opposites in
Yes,
this situation.
yes.
Which is interesting because they're best friends.
Right. And he can't
adapt.
He also wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah.
He can't hide what he's thinking and feeling
doesn't even
at all.
try, but yeah, you can tell.
And she's like, no, we're playing this game.
Right.
And she's going to get to know as many people as possible. And she's their blunder gun, really. I mean, she's their hidden weapon.
Well, I think that Carol was smarter than Daryl and probably anybody else by doing this, but it really irritated me.
Did it?
I loved watching it. I mean, I'm glad they did this in the story, and I love watching it. But as far as like how I would feel about a character who does this, it just, I don't like when people are not straightforward and real, you know? And it just made me, I just like, I'm like, I don't like dishonesty like that. It's like the governor, you know, but she, you know, I mean, it's smart for her to do it. And I thought it was a fun scene to watch, and she acted it great. So,
and she is
funny.
Honestly, out of all of them, she did this with Terminus too. She was very cautious with Terminus. She didn't march right up to the front and go into the front gate. Thank God. No. She hung back. She watched. She figured out her friends were in trouble, and then she ended up saving the day. So she was the most cautious out of all of them. And I think she's being the most cautious in a very sly way out of all of them.
It's
here
for
too.
The best. But you know, she could have just, instead of tried to pretend to be something she's totally not, she could have just kept her, just like not said much.
Well, it was the person she used to be.
Yeah. Or at least the person that she used to pretend to be.
Right. Exactly.
It was good. I mean, I'm glad, like I say, it was great to put that in the script, and I'm glad they did it.
I went back and watched it a couple of times because I'm a people person.
You're right. Early on, she was fumbling with her gun as if she didn't understand how to use it.
I don't understand how to use this giant weapon.
Glenn's interview was short and sweet. He said, "We need to make this work. We were almost out there too long."
Yep.
Which is accurate, I
and
would
honest.
Say. Mm-hmm. And then Rick's, he said he didn't even know how many people he's killed, which it just brought me back to when he was gunning down all those people at Terminus. He probably wasn't keeping track.
No.
And then he said, quote, "You should keep your gates closed. It's all about survival now at any cost. People out there are always looking for an angle, looking to play on your weakness. They measure you by what they can take from you, by how they can use you to live." And then it turns out that that's pretty much what he's doing.
Yeah, it is.
It is, because he says at the end, if they can't make this work, we'll just take this place.
It from them. Yeah.
Which is right out of the comics, by the way.
Is it?
I love it, yeah.
Wow, it's
this
hardcore.
episode, a lot of it's right out, except you'll hear from Grace and Mr. Blog, but Deanna in the comics, Doug.
Really?
Yeah.
And they made the character female.
Yep.
Bravo.
No, her name was Doug in the comics. Douglas.
Yeah, a lot of the theme still is how much can you let your guard down? That's still the theme. How much can you trust? How much can you let your guard down? And it's funny. I didn't realize how far Rick had gone. Like how far he'd crossed over to be the person he is now. He's very hardcore. Yeah,
in fact, in the comic, it was the same thing. When they got to Alexandria, they'd been through so much that it was tough for them to integrate with these people who hadn't been hardened by the world.
Right.
But it was not as effective in the comic as it is in the show. I mean, for one thing, they've had to undergo a little bit more. The hospital thing wasn't in the comic. And like I said last week, Terminus wasn't quite the same. Yeah. But just seeing it on screen and the way they've played it so well, especially Andrew Lincoln, he just looks like a different person.
Yep.
It's really effective. I mean, it was great in the comics, but it's even better on the show.
I have to say, the moment when Carl goes to Jesse's son's house, and he goes to Jesse's son's room, and it's Jesse's
he's kind of
son,
shell-shocked.
He's kind of standing there, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to play video games?" And the look on his face, and maybe I got teary-eyed because it made me so sad, all the things that he's lost being a kid. He doesn't even know how to, his normal reaction would be, comics, games? Yeah, sign me up.
Right when they said that, it made me think of a scene, I think from last season, when Rick was unconscious and Carl was looking around.
Yeah.
And he saw some games in somebody's house. And I thought he was looking wistfully at them. So when they offered games, my first thought was, oh yeah, he's going to be like, yes. But then he looked shell shocked, you know. I'm like, oh yeah, he's not ready to jump back into that life. But then he's like, oh, let's go play some games. And I'm like, yeah, he wants to play some games.
But he's worried too. He thinks that they're all too soft.
Yeah. And that had me thinking, it's like, I think about that in our life now.
Oh, yeah.
Like our whole society is built around making things more easy and convenient.
Yep.
And that's sort of a capitalist engine driving that too. Like if you can make things more easy, then people will pay for it. But it makes us all dependent.
Yes.
And we are. And if we're fine as long as everything holds up, if the society holds together. But if it somehow comes crashing down, we don't know how to live off the land. I don't anyway.
Nope. Were you here for the earthquake in 89?
I was in Modesto, so I felt it, but it wasn't like...
I was in Santa Cruz, which was basically ground zero for the big earthquake in California in 1989. And we didn't have water. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have anything for about 3 days. And
oh, wow.
It was a long, that's a long time to go without water and electricity. Maybe not for the rest of the country. Sorry, rest of your country, if you guys have gone much, much longer. But for this,
if you've never experienced it before, it's something scary, and you don't know when it's going to end, right?
It was crazy.
People who went through Katrina probably are like, what?
Yeah, but, loser. You loser podcaster, Californian. But I got to say, it got me getting to know my neighbors, and I'm still friends with the neighbors who lived right next door to us. Maybe I would never have met them were it not for the earthquake, and I'm still friends with them. Yeah, and it gave me a whole new appreciation for getting my earthquake supply. Now I'm a total prepper.
For me, I was in a movie theater, and all the projectors shut down, so I didn't get to watch the rest of my movie.
Oh, so sad. That's tragic. You poor thing. How did you get? What movie?
Watch it the next day. No, actually, I was working there, so I wasn't really watching a movie. It was just a joke. I think it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
My number 4 is how they adapt to civilization. We've kind of covered some of that. I liked that Rick comes in suspicious and grave, but you know, he's the one who made the decision to go in there, and he's going to try and make it work, but he's having trouble. You know, he doesn't see Carl for a second and freaks out.
Oh yeah.
But then when you switch over to Daryl, I already mentioned actually, but that he's having the hardest time. Scene at all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already talked about it, and the video games and everything. And then when Carl was going upstairs and there was spooky music, I was like, oh, there's nothing up there.
There's nothing up there. They would have found something.
Yeah.
It made me think when Rick says we can all sleep in our own homes tonight, I was thinking, where are they all going to go different? I mean, how really Daryl's going to have his own house? Carol's going to have her own house? Mm-hmm. I mean, how are they going to divide this up? And it made me all sad. Like, wow, they probably at this point really enjoy being together as a big family. Like, too bad they just can't find a house that would accommodate all of them together like a big family.
House.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't picture them splitting up at this point. Maybe I can picture Abraham and Rosita and Eugene, the three of them having their own house. Maybe. I don't know. Not even that really.
Well, and Glenn and Maggie could have their own place.
Glenn and Maggie could have their own place.
Daryl and Carol can have a shack. No, I don't know. I know.
We're not shipping that.
Hopefully we'll see. Sometimes they don't really get too specific about this kind of thing, but it would be interesting to know if they each get their own house.
Housing dynamic.
Yeah.
Michonne would have to live with Rick and Carl, right? She would have her own room.
They already, I think, would have divided them up in this episode and just not shown it.
Yes.
Because they were surprised that they were all in the same house. So they've already gotten whatever they were going to get.
Right. Congresswoman Deanna was like, oh, how cute. Look at you all. One big family.
Yeah. And she was like, people who don't, it's, amazing that people who don't have anything in common can be a family. She's a politician.
She is.
And it doesn't mean I don't believe her, but she's charming, and she also kind of gets people to do what she wants them to do.
Yep.
Which is interesting. Do you trust her?
I want to. I like her very, very much.
Yeah, me too.
I really do. I love the actress Tova Feldshuh. I don't know how you pronounce her.
I liked her too.
I thought she was great. I love what she says. I think it's hilarious that she says, the communist won, huh?
Yeah,
Because it's,
yeah.
a utopian socialist society where everyone works and contributes to the common good. It's great. And she seems to love all of them, and she seems to want all of them. I think her son Aiden, needs a swift kick in the balls.
Wait, is that her son?
Yeah.
Aiden's her son?
I think so.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
I think
She thanked Glenn for punching him in the face.
Thanks, because he
needed it.
He needed a knockdown. Oh, it was such a good scene too. She says that she was so good at reading people that if she hadn't won re-election, she was going to be a poker player. I mean, that's hilarious stuff.
That's a little interesting there, because poker players bluff, and they're not straightforward.
They do bluff. You're right. But they also are very, very good at reading people, which is what I think she was getting at.
That's what she was getting at.
Yeah.
But they're also good at trying not to be read.
Right. and keeping the quote unquote poker face. Yeah. But I want to really like her. Do I trust her? Not completely.
Not completely.
No.
But you want to trust her.
I
right?
do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, I do. I want
Cool.
this to work. I like this whole thing, and I want to see it play out for at least a couple more episodes. I really am enjoying this, and I want to see him. This was kind of what I was hoping would happen at Woodbury. I was hoping the whole gang would somehow get to Woodbury. It didn't. Obviously, it never happened. But I was very interested in the goings on at Woodbury. So I'm sort of getting that delayed gratification now with Alexandria.
I know. Yeah, totally. Man, at this point, I'm really wishing I could talk extensively about the comic, but I can't.
You cannot. You cannot.
Okay.
But Mr. Blood and Gracie can.
That's right. So I think it's your turn, right?
I think it is.
Number 3.
And I kind of just went anyway. Congresswoman Deanna Monroe, representative from Ohio, 15th District.
Okay, so let's just get into some of the other characters. What do you think of Jessie?
The haircutting salon gal, married to a guy who doesn't seem very nice and
named Pete.
Pete.
Yeah.
Pete.
All he said was, you're Rick. My wife gave you a haircut. Welcome to Alexandria. He said it in this way that didn't seem like a welcome at all.
Didn't seem friendly. No, I don't think he's going to cotton too well to Rick. I thought Jessie was cute as a button with her little welcome basket, and then she's, hey, shirtless man, I'll give you a haircut. I'll cut your
It seemed
hair,
like
dude.
she's interested in him right off the bat.
Well, if Andrew Lincoln answers the door shirtless, I would give him a
clean
haircut
shaven
too.
with long hair, just begging for those scissors.
That's right, baby. I'll give you a haircut. I give you a haircut good.
And then Enid, thank you for listening, everybody. Enid's is interesting. What?
Back one to Jessie. Did you notice her tattoo?
I read something about it, but
it was on her arm, and it looked like an owl. And remember, she was talking about her owl sculpture.
She's in an owl cult.
She's kind of got an owl thing. Maybe she just likes owls. I don't know.
Who?
Jessie.
Oh. Okay. Enid, she just came in from outside, I think a couple months earlier or something. They said 8 months maybe. I thought that she didn't seem to care about anything, but as soon as she saw that Carl was kind of shell-shocked, she perked up.
Yeah.
So, and then he said, "You don't like me," but to me it seemed like she's kind of interested in him. That's what I thought.
Think so?
I mean, just as a person, like I think she's curious about him.
And maybe she's got a little PTSD too.
Yeah.
And we'll see what
Either
happens.
that or she's just a teenager.
She's scaling the wall and she's roaming the woods.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, huh?
It is weird, and I'm sure we'll find out what's going on with that. I mean, it might just be that she just feels more comfortable outside.
Maybe, but she stopped and looked at the tree, I think.
There's something.
And there's something on the tree, and maybe
she's communicating.
Maybe she was looking for symbols on the tree.
Okay.
That is
marks.
a hobo mark. That is a complete guess based on nothing.
I loved, Aiden was a big arrogant dick, but it was great. That whole scene with him saying, "You got to listen to me." He kind of overplayed it a little bit, but then awesome to see Glenn put him in his place.
Yes.
And Glenn, he was a little bit posturing with him, and I kind of wish he would have been able to carry himself in a way that was really strong, but kind of more diffusing it, and then just have Aiden not go for it and try to fight him anyway, versus him almost just be like another, well, we better back off, buddy, you know, like that.
Yeah.
But it was still a great scene. And yeah, that's all. And I think Glenn's going to end up being the head of the scouts or the supply run people.
Which Aiden won't like one bit.
Too bad. He's an idiot. The other thing is, you know, okay, I get it that these people have been here pretty much since the beginning of the zombie apocalypse and they're weak and don't know how to handle themselves around zombies. But you'd think that the supply run guys would have figured out by now not to do this kind of stuff.
Right. Tie up a zombie.
I didn't believe that. Yeah,
I know. They were like, really? You're doing this? Good Lord. Did you think it was funny when he called his itty bitty guns the sweet ass biscuits?
A little, but
his weapons
like,
of not very much destruction.
He had a big gun himself.
Did he?
He did, yeah.
He gave them the teeny.
It doesn't matter. Any gun will do. You just got to shoot him in the head.
and they seem to be more stabby these days anyway. Conserve ammo, people.
That's right.
And it's not an unlimited supply. There's not like an ammo manufacturing plant right around the corner.
If you play those Resident Evil games, you have to conserve your ammo. It's in short supply. And I forget if I mentioned this, but I played through my favorite zombie game ever recently, the Resident Evil remake. And you just go bang, 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 and they kind of stumble back and then they just keep coming for you. And it's really freaky. And then you can run out of ammo and then you have to try and use your knife, but it's pretty much hopeless at that point.
And you're like,
so
okay,
you have to conserve.
Reboot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, where are we?
I have no idea.
I just did my number 3, so it's your number 2.
Okay, so I'm going to say my number 2 was the contrast this week between the real badasses and the wannabes. And we kind of just covered this. So Rick Grimes and company are the real deal, but while the wannabes are, you know, living in the crate and barrel catalog fantasy. And I thought it was a really fun to sort of compare and contrast the entire episode. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So we already talked about that.
Cool. My number 2 was interviews, which we already talked about.
All right. And my number 1 was actually Carol and her budding acting career. So I'm just going to go ahead and say one little piece of trivia, which I already kind of mentioned, but Alexandria is filmed in Sonoy, and the exteriors are people's houses, are actual real houses, but the interiors are all manufactured sets. So anytime you see an interior, that's a manufactured set, and then when they walk outside and they film them walking outside, that is somebody's real home in Sonoy, Georgia. I love that because I was like, where are they filming that? Sonoy is so cute.
And they made a deal for a certain period of time, which I won't reveal, to be able to film there.
That's great.
And some of the townspeople don't like it, and the other ones do.
I want to live there. I really do. I think it's so cool.
So my number 1 was the Alexandria safe zone, which we've talked a lot about. But we didn't mention that the army directed people there and then never showed up. So that's how they all kind of came there. And that they haven't taken anyone in a long time. That's
what they said.
And I think they did that because they wanted Rick and his crew to be the main tough people. And if they had taken people in, then there would be other tough people. And that wouldn't be good for the story. But the in-story reason probably is that they just haven't found anyone trustworthy, or also and now, I don't know, maybe after they just had whatever where she had to kick people out, they realized they need some stronger people to help protect them.
Right.
So now they were more actively looking for people to come. I mean, she obviously feels like she needs protection.
Yes.
Deanna,
right. She does. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
but there's something recently that makes her feel like more so.
Maybe it's the people that she kicked out. Yeah. And maybe somehow Enid's connected to them. Like maybe she's the kid of whoever she kicked out. And she probably said, look, your kid can stay here. You're a nice young girl, but maybe you guys have to hit the road. And maybe that's why Enid's going away to sneak them food or to somehow try to protect them. I don't know.
And maybe the people that they kicked out, because it is weird to me that nobody knows how to handle themselves around the zombies that well, because you'd think that the scouts would, but maybe the people they kicked out were... Like, this town doesn't have mercenaries like Woodbury did.
Right.
Like Martinez and Merle and everybody.
Right.
And the Schumpert.
Shumpert.
But that guy, Travis Love, he was on a panel in San Francisco, and he told, I didn't know this, but he used to be like a prop guy on the show.
Oh, really?
And then he became an extra.
Yeah.
And then Martinez was friends with him, Jose Pablo Contillo, and like kind of finagled it so he would get a line.
Oh,
and so that's pretty
very cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so maybe the people that she kicked out were the mercenaries, and now she needs new people to take their places and protect them and be strong for them.
I like that she picked Rick and Michonne. She figured out Michonne's deal.
It is cool, but isn't it kind of scary to take people that you just met and make them your law enforcers?
Yes.
That's scary. And I saw in a scene from next week, this is just a tad spoiler, but Rick kind of questions that too.
Are we being played?
Yeah.
He's right to question it.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. So I have a few notes. Let's see. This week's episode is called Remember, and next week is Forget. So this week is about remembering civilized society. Next week's about forgetting it. I don't know.
I forget.
I thought it was funny that last week they showed scenes from next week and they didn't show any people hardly. And that was a total fake out because we saw plenty of people.
Total fake out. Yeah.
It was good. I liked at the gate, Rick hears a zombie and says, Sasha, and she pulls out her gun and gives it a clean headshot.
Yep.
The point they're making is that she's a sharpshooter, but that point would be much better made if they hadn't had so many scenes of all of them being great headshots, being great shots.
I did like the zombie head exploding in front of us. That was pretty good.
That was cool. When the guy at the gate, Nicholas, said, before you take this any further, I need you all to turn over your weapons. That was totally like Gareth.
Yes.
Did you think? I was like,
yeah. Oh. But they let them keep the knives.
Oh, they did? I didn't notice that.
They let them keep knives.
Every time I see the baby, not every time, but a lot of times I'm starting to miss Lori.
Oh.
Lori was annoying a lot of the time, but now that time has passed, I'm like, she needs a mommy.
She does need a mommy.
Mommy needs to be with Daddy and Carl and Judith.
She's got Michonne, who's like the best aunt ever.
Yeah.
But I know
sad.
what you mean. She's
I'm like, I wish she could be back somehow.
Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, how long ago did Lori die? How old is Judith supposed to be at this point?
Who knows? I don't think we're supposed to pay too much attention to that.
Okay. Sorry about questioning time.
I like where Jessie came over to Rick's and she had a basket of stuff and said it was from the pantry and it's for Rick and his friends. That was a small basket for like 12 people. Yeah. It's like, it reminded me of that Seinfeld episode where they're like saying you should only use one square of toilet paper per poop.
But there's probably toothbrushes and toothpaste at the bottom because right away Michonne's like, I just brushed my teeth for 20 minutes. She probably took a enamel off.
Oh, is that what she was doing? Brushing her teeth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Rick knew because he wound his watch up. So he knew exactly how long it was.
Right, exactly.
This episode's totally bringing us away from the post-apocalyptic wear that Ewan Womble said she wanted for the show. That's kind of a bummer. They're more going to be wearing khakis and cardigans and stuff.
Don't worry, Ewan.
It'll come.
Yeah, it won't be nice forever.
So Daryl, I think, unless I missed something, Daryl and Sasha still don't have jobs, right?
Daryl does not because she hasn't figured Mr. Dixon out.
Yeah, and I don't think Sasha does either.
Sasha does not. So those are the two that we, for sure. I mean, we don't even know what the jobs are for everybody else. We don't know what, for instance, Abraham and
Eugene. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Eugene's job is. Sasha, you'd think if they have people watching out, she'd be good for that. Up in the tower.
She'd be great. She's a sharpshooter.
Daryl should go around and scout or go on supply runs.
Yes, he'd be great.
Stuff that keep him out in the wild.
Yes.
Because he would probably like that.
Keep the wild in him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can hunt and bring back possums.
Possums again.
Yeah.
All right. Next time I'll bring a dog.
And then what else?
How about Eugene? What job do you think Eugene should have?
Well, he is smart.
He's very bright.
Yeah. I kind of know what he ends up doing. I don't know. Comedian? No. That's Josh McDermott. That's it. That's good.
He's a fun guy.
Great episode.
A self-declared fun guy.
Let's go into our listener responses.
Okay, let's do it. first one comes from Claire Johnson, who wrote, I love the music, the governor's theme at the end, indicating how far Rick has moved to the governor's mindset. Spooky. Did you notice that?
No, now that she mentioned it, yeah. But I didn't notice it in the moment.
Great comment.
Jamie Gliciano, I loved it. A credit to Melissa McBride. It took me a beat to realize Carol was lying her ass off during the interview and playing Captain Janeway like a fiddle. People call her Captain Janeway.
It's so funny. I thought she was Captain Janeway too.
Me too.
It took me a long time to realize it wasn't the same actress.
Oh, really? I just
funny.
felt it. It was similarity for sure.
Wow. Laura Will Swink writes, I totally understand Carol giving the whole unassuming den mother act, but hasn't Aaron been spying on them for 2 to 3 weeks now? I would think he's debriefed Deanna on everyone in the group by now, and she's just assessing for herself.
That's true. I think the writers are ignoring that.
Yep. You're right.
Lindsay Mock says, I love this episode. One of my new favorites. I can't wait for Daryl to take a shower. Wowza. Because Carol's like, did you take a shower? He goes, mm-hmm. It's like, no, you didn't.
No, I'm going to hose you down. And also at this point, his bangs are growing so long. He can I barely see his eyeballs now.
Get Jesse over to his house.
Yeah, give him a close cut. You know what I'm saying. Rick Cabanis writes, glad Rick shaved. His beard was starting to harbor life.
Kelly Geis says the walker that grabs Rick's leg when he was looking for his gun outside the shack was played by Scott Ian of Anthrax.
What? That is so cool. I like little celebrity guest spots as zombies. Grippy Bob.
I want to see Danny DeVito play one.
Yeah, that would be a good one, actually. Grippy Bob Dobalino writes, I think a lot of people, including me, finally took a deep breath of relief. I could not help but wonder what Lori and Shane would think of Alexandria. Mm-hmm. Lori would love it. Shane would probably be grumpy about it. Methinks that Glenn will take over control of runs, and that when things go to hell, it will go differently than in the comic. I hope this will be done to keep things fresh. I don't know what that means.
Des Combs says, did anyone else think that when Rick was finishing up shaving and still had long hair, he kind of looked like Jason? Maybe.
Woo, yeah,
Kinda. That's the operative word.
That's awesome. Tori Ling writes, the Skin Rip Walker was the same actor, Walker, that killed Dale. R.I.P. Dale. Wow. He's a thin guy, by the way. Mm-hmm. I saw the little behind the scenes thing on The Talking Dead, and it is a very skinny actor.
Jason Erdman says, finally, the Alexandria safe zone, but why is the wall constructed backwards? The support beams should probably be inside the compound. They were in the comics. Maybe in the show, Deanna doesn't want anyone to get out. So they put him on the outside.
On the outside. That's funny.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, her husband was an architect, right? Or an architect professor.
Maybe he wasn't so bright.
Maybe he wasn't. Paik Allen writes, Daryl is being such a whiner right now. Absolutely can't stand his character at the time being.
I can see that. Carlos V. Diaz says, running hot water and Daryl stays dirty. Badass.
There's running hot water here and I'm still dirty.
I don't care.
Chicho Puthia writes, it was good, but I'm really nervous that it could get boring.
I'm a little nervous it could get boring
worry.
too. Marcy Brinker says, love this one. Rick looks 10 years younger without the beard and hot.
God, does he ever? You're not kidding. Dominic Muzio writes, if Daryl bathes, we riot.
Ned Rogers says, Alexandra Breckenridge, guys. Uh-huh. That's Jessie.
Oh, she's a cute.
She's gorgeous.
Hey.
You should see it. Like, she was in American Horror Story and she played this sexy maid.
Ooh, sexy maid. Mm-hmm. Stephen Michonne, almost looks like, writes, Rick is going to kill them all.
Everyone in the show.
Yeah, everybody. I'm just going to kill everybody. Keep them alive. Wait, what?
All right, that's it. We'll take a little very appropriate sponsor today is Harry's.
Woo.
Who you ordered one from recently.
I did.
Gave it to David.
Because I'm a good wife. But I'm going to order one for me. Because I opened it up and I was looking at it going, oh, I totally want this.
That's cool. Well, this is also in honor of Rick shaving his beard, and our sponsor today is Harry's. I shaved mine with my Harry's razor and shaving cream about an hour ago.
Looks like a baby's butt.
And it's felt really good. It feels like a baby's butt. I haven't shaved my whole face in months. And, it felt really good to do that. And they have this shaving cream. I don't know if you've seen David use it, but it's not big and like thick on your face, but it's rich.
Yeah.
It's fresh and clean.
Smells good.
It smells really good, and it feels good on your face. Before I keep going, I want to remind you, if you go to harrys.com and enter promo code DEADCAST, that's HARRYS.com, and enter DEADCAST at checkout, you get $5 off. So Harry's was started by two guys who wanted a better product without paying an arm and a leg to get it. So to me, that's like says it all. It's a better product. It really is. And it's less money, and it's delivered right to your door for free. So, dude.
Yes, exactly.
That's pretty much it.
Exactly.
They're less than 2 years old, but they're already disrupting the shaving industry, like Schick and Gillette and everything.
I love that.
Me too.
I love that. And they're sort of like the model of Warby Parker. How?
Yeah. I think the same guys do Warby Parker.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
It's brilliant.
And Warby Parker's great too.
Yep.
Okay, so David was kind enough to leave us his impressions of this, and here it is.
Shut up.
Hey everybody, David here. When Karen and Jason asked me to try out these Harry shaving products, I warned them I was going to be honest. I figured, hey, this isn't exactly going to change my life, it's just a razor and shaving cream. Well, that's true, it has not changed my life, but it has genuinely changed my shave. Despite the fact that this kit is convenient to order online and inexpensive, it truly is a quality product. The razor feels heavy in my hand, it has more weight to it than the big brand one I had been using, and the head has 5 blades instead of 3. The Harry shaving cream is really luxurious too. It's thick and rich, one small squeeze out of the bottle is all you need. I have to admit it takes me a little longer to shave with the Harry's products. Something about the heavier feel and the thicker shaving cream makes you want to take your time and be a little more precise. But the shave is way closer than I'm used to, and I've actually been able to skip some days since I started using this stuff. So my conclusion is, if Rick Grimes found one of these Harry shaving kits, he might not be tooling around Atlanta with that scraggly beard. I give the Harry shaving kit 4.75 brains. Peace out, and don't get bit.
That's awesome. Thanks, David.
Thanks, David.
So these are about half the price of big branded blades, and they have a starter set. You get a razor, 3 blades, and the shave cream for $15, which is a great deal. But then if you use our promo code DEADCAST, you get $5 off. So it's just $10 to get you started. Satisfaction guaranteed. Go to harrys.com and try it out. Thank you to Harry's for your support.
Thanks, Harry's.
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Deadcast news update.
Okay, just a few items today. The first is that Walking Dead Season 5 finale will be 90 minutes.
That is really cool. I am so glad.
Yeah. Did you know that already?
I did not know that.
Me too. I want more.
Yeah, and that makes sense. For a finale, you want it to take its time.
A big event.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.